welcome back to another episode of Climbing the Ranks. Yes, it has been quite a while since I've done anything on this channel. Like 11-ish weeks, 12-ish weeks, 3 months? Yeah, that's fun. But anyways, let's just get into today's Climbing the Ranks thing. But, Climbing the Ranks is basically a thing where we compare how decks actually are based on what they're said to be. So, like, such as elves, to take a random example. Elves are like a really good rounded deck, and like they're extremely good in historic on Mtga and in real life, basically. But if you say they win 70 to 80 to 90% of the time, like over 10 games, sure, that's believable. But if everybody is like building this 4-colored weirdness deck that has, like, I don't know, and it does everything, it's like a sacrifice board wife like gain, any kind of that kind of deck, and you say that it does the same amount as good as the elves in historic or has been relevant in the game forever, such as elves, there's not really a big chance that anybody's going to believe you. So that's basically Climbing the Ranks, and we're here to test out how decks are based on what people say they are. And today we're bringing probably one of the most hated commanders of all time. Well, not all time, because it hasn't been in the game forever, but it's one of the most hated commander, and it's Krenko Mob Boss. And basically it's a big goblin thing that creates more goblins just by tapping it, and it gets really stupid and crazy out of hand, and it's only 4 to cast. And with the amount of goblin support, not in just real life but also in the game, it's really easy to get a lot of swarming done before, like, your opponent can do anything about it. Things that kill this deck, just to mention off from the beginning, something a little different: board wipes, other win cons, and outpacing it. So like another mono red or some mono black just death, or even mono white aggro, it will destroy this deck. Or literally anything with flying. But other than that, it's extremely hard to beat. It does a lot of swarming, and in this deck, which most commander or Brawl decks should have, is an alternate win condition, which in my deck there are technically 1 to 2 others, and technically 3 if you count the other one, but other than that, that's basically it. So let's just get right into the deck. Speaking of Krenko and stuff, it's all going to be goblins, just by the way. Crash Through gives everything trample, and you get to draw a card. The second ability is more than we want because red does not have a lot of card draw. Fanatical Firebrand, it's a monkey. It is a goblin, but it looks like a monkey. You can sack it to deal 1 damage to any target, and it also has haste to get rid of the little 1-drops, the little like 5/8 things. That doesn't really matter. It's just in there because it's a 1-drop with haste, and it does another effect. Fervent Champion, 1-drop haste, first strike. Goblin Arsonist, whenever it dies, it can deal 1 damage to any target. It is also a 1-drop. Javelineer, if it gets blocked, it deals 1 damage to the blocking creature, so it's basically you can deal with power things with 2, and then if you plus it, which usually never happens, but it can do more damage. It also has a haste, and it's a 1-drop. Infuriate, make things bigger. Outnumber, when you have a bunch of little goblins you make off of Krenko, you can basically spot removal anything. Raging Goblin, 1/1 drop with haste. Yeah, it's a really relevant thing. A lot of 1/1 drops with haste. Reckless Ringleader, another 1/1 drop with haste. When it enters the battlefield, you also get to choose a creature in your hand, and it perpetually gains haste. Sadly, it can't be Krenko, but it can be anything else, so it gets kind of out of hand pretty quickly. Scorch Spitter, because it spits Scorch. I tongue twisted that. Shock. Skirk Prospector, AR Ramp. Spear Spewer. Defender. It can deal 1 damage by tapping it to each player, so it's pretty nice. It does have a side back to you, but it can whittle your opponents down. Spikefield Hazard, because it's a land and it's half of a shock. 10 Street Cadet, whenever it comes blocked, create a 1/1 goblin creature token, which is it basically becomes itself after it dies. Ginger Brute, 1/1 drop with haste, and then you can make it to where it can't be block basically, but unless it has something as haste, and then you can sack it and you gain a life. Will gain 3 life, so it's just a food token in a creature. Shadow Spear, life trample, makes it to where hexproof, indestructible, gets lost on your opponents. Battle Cry Goblin, you can give stuff +1/+0, and it also has pack tactics to create a goblin that is a 1/1 with attacking. Bloodthirsty Adversary to make more counters and to get instant sorceries from your graveyard. There's not a whole lot in this deck, but there is some. Cavalcade of Calamity, we have a lot of little 1/1s, and it will deal basically double the damage. Curse of Shaken Faith, because it's a brand new card, not a lot of people have heard of it. I like it just because whenever they cast more than one spell, they deal 2 damage to the target player. It's an aura curse, by the way, or else it wouldn't be that good. Instigator, more tokens. Morningstar, more tokens, and it also gets +1/+0 and trample. And Lava Coil for removal and exilement. Lightning Strike for dealing 3 damage to anything. Munition, just because you can sack a lot of your little things if you don't have any plays, like with Krenko, like creating a bunch of little 1/1 goblins and destroy some stuff or kill your opponent. Royal Eruption for some other spot removal. Scorching Dragonfire for also some spot removal. Thrill of Possibility and Tormenting Voice, both the same card, and both are card draw. Conspicuous Snoop for extra goblins from the top of your library, and it's just kind of fun. Wily Goblin for treasures. Signet, because Signet, and its ramp. Rather Runestone for killing the library and graveyard decks. Shatter Skull Smashing, Destruction, and a land. Burgee for more ramp. Bone Crusher, because it crushes bones. Chaos Warp, because it warps chaos. And then if you have Weathered Runestone, you can't get the trigger off the library. Claimer Shaman has Riot, and then it can't be blocked when it attacks. Well, target creature it cannot block during the turn. Goblin Matron, it's the tutor for the deck. Gutter Snipe, because it deals damage when you cast stuff. Legion Lore Boss, it makes goblins when it attacks, and also has Mentor. Light Up the Stage, you can cast stuff from the top of your library. Skewer the Critics, it deals damage. You see a pair of goblins, so stuff can get +2/+0. And then you can also create 2 1/1 goblins. Anax, because it's Anax, Goblin Chieftain, and War Chief, they both give them haste. Chieftain has +1/+1 to everything else, and War Chief makes your goblins cost 1 less to cast. That was a lot to say. Hobgoblin gives stuff +1/+1, and then you can deal damage into any target equal to the number of goblins you control, which is pretty nice. Magic Missile, because it missiles the magicness. Ringleader searches. Trash Master, you can pop artifacts and your stuff gets +1/+1. Battle Driver, because it drives the ogres, and it's just fun. It's stuff you get +2/+0 when it enters a battlefield and gain haste, so you have a bunch of 3/1 goblins with haste when they come off of Krenko. Cosmos Elixir to gain life, and I almost forgot Torbrand, because Torbrand makes your little things get bigger. And Lithoform Engine, because it's fun and you can do 2 Krenko triggers off of 1 tap. Goldspan Dragon, because it's generic for red. Terror of the Peaks, because it's also whenever another creature enters a battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to any target. Well, not 1 damage. It deals damage equal to its power to any target, but it's going to be usually 1 because it's the stuff you create off of Krenko. Stuff 6 and up. Embercleave. It's Embercleave. Muxus. It's a big boy with little hands, and it's a goblin. And Ujin, because Ujin's Ujin, and Ujin likes to board wipe. It also likes to win. 37 mountains and a command tower, because command tower rocks, and I don't care about ramp because there is no land ramp in here for basic lands. And anyways, that's it really for the deck. It's basically create a bunch of goblins and then create even more goblins. The other win condition is Ujin, and the third win condition is technically Terror of the Peaks, but you also have to have Krenko out there to do so, and the fourth win condition is make more goblins. I've said that already because that's basically what all the deck does. It's just make goblins and make more goblins. But that's it really. You can get Torbrand, you can get Ogre Battle Driver, and that's like a really, really easy win condition right there. But other than that, that's really the deck. It's just make goblin. That's it. Yeah, let's just get into the games. On to game 1. Our hand is, well, pretty good. We have some nice draw. We're just going to throw down to Mountain Pass, see what he puts. He puts a Sprite Dragon. I'm going to kill that before that gets out of hand. That's the Ajani's Pride Mate, but for playing instant and sorceries. That's stupid. I'm going to set up for Gutter Snipe just for some future plays, because I do have 2 sorceries in my hand currently. He's going to do a new card, Blow of a Beggar. That card's kind of neat, but, I mean, it just kind of transforms into kind of a beefier thing. It's not really a threat right now, because it has no, like, attack or defense or whatever. He's going to borrow some time, and it's, like, kind of looking alright. I'm going to do Tin Street Cadet. I'm going to give Clamor Shaman haste to make the Beloved Beggar not block, and he's Gonna have to take all the damage. Just 7 Cemetery Illusionary, starts exiling stuff. That's also a new card. I'm gonna do Cavalcade of Calamity, then Ginger Brute, and then I am gonna do Crash Through to deal him some damage and draw a card. And I'm gonna attack with everything, making Ginger Brute unblockable basically, and just swing in for almost game. It's really close. He does basically proliferate and then draw, and then I have Thrill of Possibility with Gutter Snipe, and he scoops. That was really easy. On to game 2. We have a really good hand this time going around. I'm gonna play Mountain. We have Infuriate, a Lava Coil for removal, like a tutor. Oh, never mind. Thoughtseize, yay. I'm gonna play Land. I'm gonna just kind of wait a little bit. He's playing Sir Rolf, which is a little scary, but I'm not too worried about it. He's just gonna have to start like getting Sir Wolf out there as quickly as he can and start destroying some of my stuff, which in black it's so easy. So he's going to do Caryatid, which I mean that makes sense just for some extra ramp. I'm going to throw down my Krenko right now. I'm going to do another Legion War Boss trigger. I'm going to give this +1/+1 with Mentor, and I'm going to just give it back over to him. Next turn we'll have, well, I wanted to have, but he kills it with Lethal Form Engine. I wanted to get 2 triggers, but eventually we'll hopefully be able to. I'm going to throw down a Torbrand. I'm going to make it just a bunch of goblin thingies, and giving them +1/+1 counters on top of Torbrand. It gets kind of out of hand very quickly with Legion War Boss doing a lot more than it should. He's down to 4 life. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do anything. I think he's probably going to cast, yes, Sir Rolf, just for some extra protection. But either way, he is dead. Or, no, he's going to kill it, but I'm going to kill Sir Rolf, and he scoops there. Game 3. Hand is really good. We have some nice starting off plays. We have our mana ramp that is a 1-drop, which is nice. But I'm going to do Fanatical Firebrand, and guess what? There's a fun little Alseid right there. I'm going to attack because I know he's not going to block with it. If he did, it would have been strange. I'm going to play Raging Goblin, then Skirk Prospector, and I am going to sack the Fanatical to kill the Alseid, just because I want to get that protection forced or just out of the way in general. He plays a Welcome. That's kind of strange, but not really, because he's playing Winota, and that just gives him a bunch more life. He's going to do this, just create some tokens. I am not going to block for some reason. I thought that he had something and I didn't want my Battlecry Goblin to go away. I'm going to play Krenko here, and I'm going to attack with everything because he has no blockers. He does have a Lightning Bolt, unfortunately, which I mean is, it sucks, but it's alright. Krenko just goes back to my hand. I'm probably going to do Anax unless I get something next turn. He does target with Keshna, and then Selfless Savior, some more Indestructible and Protection. He does get some more triggers, gets a lot more life than he should because Winota's stupid. I am going to do Krenko again just because I can do it immediately right now, which is fun. I am just going to pass it back over to him because I don't want him getting out of hand. He just gets more triggers off this stupid Vanguard that's a flying garbage. I hate that card so much. Ooh, we got a pretty nice, I don't know whether cast Thrill Possibility or Anax. I'm going to do Anax just for safety, and I'm going to make some goblins off of Krenko. So next turn, I should be able to cast Ujin. I'm going to activate Battlecry Goblin, giving everything +1/+0, and I'm going to attack with all my little goblins. And it also gives him haste, by the way. Just because he doesn't have anything that is indestructible. Well, he can give stuff indestructible. Ooh, Thalia. A new card, well, not new, it's been there, but I'm going to just make some more tokens. I'm going to do Ujin, and we're going to sack all of our little token guys and see what he does for it, because this was probably, yep, it kills him. Alright, game 4. Hand is pretty good. This is a scary commander. I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. This commander's scary. It's just basically I get 5 mana for free, which is unreal, especially in Magic like Arena, just because Arena's Arena. I'm gonna hit him for 3. I don't want to cast my adversary yet. He does cast his commander. It's scary. I'm gonna kill it on spot because it gets out of hand. I'm just gonna plus it again, deal more 3 damage to him. Goldspan. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna do Krenko right now. I'm gonna hit him because Goldspan's tapped and I'm not too worried. He casts his commander again. It's so cheap, only 4. I get a Scorching Dragonfire, but I don't know whether to cast it or not, just to kill his commander. I'm going to do Ringleader, just to get some extra stuff in our hand, and of course, we only get 1. I'm going to make Just 3 goblins, just like to be sure. He's gonna cast missions. That's basically the game, folks. He does Emergent Ultimatum because he just searched it, and yeah, he's probably gonna get some stupid crap, probably stuff like, I don't know, some of the Praetors or some garbage like that. This deck runs all colors anyways, and yep, he has 2 Praetors and a Seagate Restoration. I don't want Vorinclex, but either way, I'm basically dead. He board wipes me, basically. I just have my Krenko left. He does Manolith, which I don't really care. Moonblast Cleric, he gets Fire Emancipation to his hand. He's probably going to play Fire Emancipation. There's Shark Typhoon, Atali, Evra, Agent of Treachery, steals my Krenko. Inspired Ultimatum, deal 5 damage. Massacre Worm, Vorinclex, you got it again. Yeah, I just say good game. He does Fire Emancipation, and yeah, that's just fun. Yeah, he kills me, and oh, on top of that, he does play an Embercleave. Yeah, there's no way I can survive that. I don't have any board wipes. Well, there really is no board wipes in red on this. It's alright. On to our final game, game 5. Our hand is pretty decent. I'm gonna get some ramping going off in red. Yep. Ooh, we draw land. Krenko on turn. Well, it is still turn 4, but I mean, I don't really care. Well, no, only turn 3 because I casted the Signet. I don't know how to count turns, which is really, really nice. I'm going to do Legion War Boss, then Fanatical Firebrand, creating a token. I'm not doing Krenko yet because I will get the token, so I get 4 more tokens. Chromatic Lantern into Authority of the Consuls, and I do Torbaran, which is basically game, and I still tell him good game back, and just attack with everything, and everything has 3. I give one of my Goblins Mentor, and yeah, that is the game. Well, overall, how did the deck do? Like, actually, well, honestly, this deck proves extremely good. It's, especially on Magic the Gathering Arena, it's because Goblins have so much support, especially out of Jumpstart. This makes this viable. Krenko is the best one out of any Goblin Commander, even, like, Muxus too. Like, I mean, Muxus is good, don't get me wrong, but it's expensive, and you do get a good effect, but it doesn't, like, you get 6 and that's all you get. And Krenko's so easy, and then you have a bunch of goblins that give haste into everything, and you could run other stuff like Tuk Tuk Revel or something like that to give all your creatures haste as well. I decided not to because I just wanted to stick to mainly goblins just to get some stuff out there. But honestly, this deck wins 80 to 90% of the time based on what we just went through. But like, if you were to build not this exact deck, I mean you could, but like any really Krenko based deck that has mainly goblins and maybe some other cards such as, like, I don't know, like when I put Anax or, you know, just kind of stuff like that. I mean, most of it, like 90% of it is goblins, but I mean, I have some like little stuff like Fervent Champion or both the dragons, but I mean, these dragons are generic. And I mean, Embercleave is like, it's a red card, but everything is either doing damage, more damage, or like an alternate win con. It's mainly just doing damage, and if there was something that prevented damage, especially the card that kills this deck is the alternate version of, like, Riadne is it's the shield, Valkyra, I think is what it's called. The Protector Shield would absolutely destroy this deck because it prevents 1 of any damage to any target. So basically all of your little 1/1 goblins are useless if you don't have anything that gives them +1/+1. But other than that, and board wipes also kill this deck, but other than that, it is mainly just a really strong and hard deck to deal with. It outpaces a lot of things because of its cheap commander, all of its cheap little goblins. I mean, you can get the commander out on turn 2 if you're lucky. I mean, I got it out on turn 3 in, I believe, the last game, and it's just a good card. For the amount of support that Arena gives to it and the amount of easiness that Krenko is to cast. I mean, 4, basically, it's all going to be red. I mean, it is a mono deck, but red it's just well-rounded. It's a well-rounded color. I mean, it doesn't have board wipes on Arena. It has board wipes in, like, Commander and stuff, but other than that, it has a lot of it has card draw. It has destruction. It doesn't have, like, exilement, like Borrow Time, or stuff that gives them minus. I mean, there is some things, but it's mainly just do damage. That's what red is. It's just do a bunch of damage really quickly, and that's what this deck does well. And yeah, it's just a really, really good commander deck. It's just a really, really good deck overall. And yeah, it wins 80 to 90% of the time. It's just it's a good deck. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, thanks for watching.